laughing voice to calm down because there's no mic. However, my name is Michael, but that's another story. Let the man speak for himself without a mic, in total quietude and respect and love for the great Sir Nelson.
So we had hoped that we were going to have a microphone, but that's not happening. So I'm going to have to project my voice to Stewart Park Avenue South because some people are outside. Oh, there's water. Thank you, Ido. First of all, a hand for our hosts, Umami Kushi. And a hand for someone who shares a birthday with me, Brandy.
5 stars!
Notice that she has been plied with sake. Are you enjoying the sake?
Yes!
See, that's the way you're supposed to respond. So Michael Cook has come here from Los Angeles, City of the Angles, he calls it.
No, City of the Angles!
City of the Angles!
Angles!
That's what
The ankles?
City of the Angles, that's what he said.
That too!
And none of them are cute.
And we were listening to jazz. What was the Coltrane tune that you had put on?
Don't take your love from me.
Don't take your love from
Absolutely,
me.
you gotta hear
We're
it.
going to put music on after the reading. I'm going to do a short reading. But since he was talking about jazz, I thought I'd start out with some jazz, with a jazz poem. It used to be a poem that I did as an opener back in the day, and I haven't done it for a while. As soon as we start talking jazz, I thought I have to do this poem. First Breath for Bud and Monk. Now the Bud and Monk would be Bud Powell and Thelonious Monk. Okay? So if you know a little bit about their history, like Bud Powell had the shit beat out of him by police in the 50s, and he was trying to tell them, "What are you doing? I'm a composer!" And they said, "Yeah, bullshit," and he beat him. Right? And so he moved to fucking France. Fuck this country.
Yeah.
So, you know, this was the 50s we're talking about. We're talking about Bud Powell. All right, everybody knows who Monk is. So, first breath for Bud and Monk. First breath, intake, sorrow mitigation, visiting Minton's, a muted roar, solitude. Then the swarm of warm notes between hallucinations, psychophysical breakdowns, keyboard mastery, unparalleled technique. Bouncing. In walked Bud Powell, bouncing. Monk, precise, spare angles, reflections. These wrong notes connote perfection. The palpable wit, inner child uncoil, the groove, elegant, conscious, surreal, oral libations poured on thick. Breath, fade, dissolve the I-ness in a dance, circumnavigation of the linear dimension, future wafting in an effervescent present. This is now, was now, is eternity, an eternal whale twist, a curve, a break, and pause, space, separating notes, a dissertation, divination, muse as tireless dancer from Hackensack, universe prehending itself, a bop configuration, a swing, a swoop, a blue note rolled, evolving science of sound, ear candy, luscious and visceral. There is blood on the table, and I, in the minefield of repression and domination, dance to the tenor solo Coltrane! Nothing left but a wisp, remnants of genius burnt clean through, ghost hunched over the keys, something left to mitigate our pain.
Yeah, man.
You're talking with Jason Worth, and he said the essence of Zen is like the essence of blues. You know you're going to suffer, but you go through it. That's what it is. That's what Zen is. That's what Zen is. That's what the blues is. So I've taken all the blues of my life for the last 20 years. Bye, Ella. Bye, Meredith. She's a track star now, or soon. Just started track today, my little girl.
Oh, good.
So I've been writing one of these 17-syllable poems every day since January 1st, 2001. And I don't have one today yet. So be careful what you say. Number 2, keep in mind I have been drinking. So I didn't make any plans for any of this reading except for reading that first poem from my beloved friend Michael Cook, who came here from Mexico. So since this is the second edition, I'm not going to read the old poems like the one that everybody loves every time I read it. This was from the U District. February 8th, 2002, next to condom dispenser is written, "This is the worst gum ever."
It stuck to the top of my mouth.
That's what happens. That's what happens. And the taste, you know. So anyway, so I might find it like in the U District Cafe Allegro, I think it was, on a bathroom wall. And I think they stole it from the Coneheads. Right? So, okay, so I'm just going to go through the years, read a few American sentences, and I'm also going to read from this manuscript, Sonetos de Cascadia. So Cascadia Sound. This is not published, this is just something I put together. I'll talk more about that in a minute. I'll read a couple of those. So, American sentences, 17-syllable poems, they're like haiku. They're created by Allen Ginsberg, designed to capture the shadow of the moment. The book is a second edition right here, only one typo so far. But it's not a typo. The dedication, dedicated to my love, Bucky Watch. Yes, I call attention. So, this is a little bit of a trip back through time, just to let you know. And there have been some painful moments in the last 5 years. 2017, January 7, 2017, News Thump says Donald Trump to be sworn in on book of carpet samples. February 11th, 2017. Everything that goes into my vest pocket comes out stained, even ghosts. Right. Another Trump poem. Jose, this is Jose Kozer. Jose won't call him 45. El Caudillo Analfabetico. Bonnie, do you know what that means?
No.
The illiterate strongman. All right. Here's an Ella poem from 3 days before her birthday, March 14th, 2017. She throws a penny in the reflecting pool, wishing for a pet bat. Any Stylistics fans here? Stylistics?
Right.
No Stylistics. She didn't make me feel brand new, just slightly used. This is from Amalio Manueño, whose alter ego was Garcia back in the day. Garcia says chemical weapons warfare treats people like insects.
Oh, wow.
May 28th, 2017. If you're looking for a bathroom in a dream, you better not find one. It's true.
Yeah.
You know it. You know, because All right, here's a Bucky Watch poem from June 1st, 2017. I ask if my new haircut makes me look like a bird. She says, pretty bird. June 7th, 2017. The space between the driver's seat and the door has a magnetic force. July 10th, 2017. Mobbing is a 21st century form of solidarity. July 13th, 2017. Ella at the change dispensed by the automated checkout. We're rich. This is a quote from Jerry Martine, July 27. Your bioregion is the distance you would walk to see your lover.
Wow.
July 31st, 2017. Who's that old man smiling at me at bottom of my coffee cup? August 8th, 2017. Not spaceship Earth, campfire Earth, with BC wildfires big as Delaware. August 18th, 2017. A migraine so bad, even crunch of breakfast cereal hurts my head. You know that? Yeah. August 21st, another Ella poem. Ella's 9, 2017. That's like 4 years ago. 4 years ago, so 5 years old. I hate to say that. Eclipse, skeleton, Tallulah, words Ella's struggled with, not asshole. September 4th, 2017. Pure Fitness, getting today's 10,000 step way back from liquor store. September 28th, 2017. Hugh Hefner. Hef's greeted in heaven by 79 virgins with sledgehammers. Hey, this one's for this neighborhood. September 28th, 2017. Hey, pal, your car doesn't sound badass. It sounds like a large lawnmower. That's what I think. All right, let's see what else we got here. No, I can't do that one. You can buy the book though, and you can read these ones that I don't read out loud. October 28th, 2017, Sam Hamill. By the way, Sam Hamill taught me everything about sake, everything about sushi, how to order sushi in the sushi bar. I miss him every day. Every time I eat sushi, Sam is there. Every time I drink sake, Sam is there. So Sam is here tonight, just to let you know that, Sam Hamill. And if you don't know his work, read a few of his poems. If you want, I will read a few of his poems to you. And I'm his literary executor. So it's important for me to continue. We would love to open up a place called the Hamill House on the Olympic Peninsula. I'm looking at Brennan.
Yeah.
Right? So that way you can have a house and you can walk right into the wilderness from there. Right? And people who don't get into the wilderness could come there. Poets could have residencies there. Cascadia Poetics Lab wants to create. We're not going to call it the Hamill House, that's too close to the Yugo House. But he called his place Shadow Hermitage, or in Japanese, Kageyan. So we want to call our house Kageyan Ni for Sam Hamill. So that's one of the things we're working on.
Hey Paul, if anybody goes to Fort Worden and Port Townsend, make sure you go to Memories Vault and read Sam's poems up there.
Tell him
beautiful.
So it should be on your bucket list. Sam Hamill, no kitchen, but an espresso machine in the bathroom. Tells you what it has there. Okay, here's a guy who came up from the Bay Area, and he fucking hates lawn, one of the leaf blowers.
Yes.
He hates these leaf blowers.
Yes.
So I read my 2 leaf blower poems, but this is just one of them. November 29th. By the way, every time I write a November poem, I don't put 11, I put N, because it's an homage to the WTO protests that we had some 20 or so years ago, just to keep remembering. We had a chance to stand up for the right thing at one time, and it was in our town, and I brought my little girl, my other daughter, to that, and she saw the protests. So this is here it is. November 29th. Morning walk marred by psychotic insect harmonies of leaf blowers. Okay, February 1st, 2017, IKEA's founder died. Took 3 hours to assemble his coffin. I know. February 23rd, 2018. This is about Joanne Kiger. Joanne could make elegant serving snacks she got on an airplane flight. That's what Anthony Schelling said about Joanne Kiger. All right. This is from Tom Sexton, a quote from him from February 25th. I think it's 2018, Indigenous Languages User Manuals for Bioregions. Right? Here we are on the ancestral homeland of the Duwamish people and also the Muckleshoot tribe, for whom I worked for a little over a year, and other coastal Salish tribes, and we owe them, and we will not have it right. There will be no justice in this world until we do right to the indigenous people of this land and every land on this planet. I'm just letting you know that.
Amen.
April 21st, 2018. Next time for Airbnb, check prior reviews for head injuries. May 5th, 2018. After Sam's gone, we use Onikoroshi sake to slay grief demons. My sake partner knows about Onikoroshi, Mr. Griggs. All right. May 15th, 2018, he says, Alex says Sam came to him and said, have a kid so I can reincarnate. Uh-huh. June 2nd, 2018, another term for bioregionalists, reinhabitarians. All right, so these are all short ones and they kind of go quick, so I'm going to take a break from that and flip through this. Sonetos de Cascadia. By the way, it's a quipu on the front here. This is Cecilia Vicuña, and this is Chilean indigenous communications device. So pre-literate. So they would have, you're nodding, you know what I'm talking about on this end? Right, a little bit? Where they had knots at certain places, and that's how they communicated. It was like the town newspaper or whatever, or in a similar way, it got the communication across. And there's the quipu. I should read the quipu for poem. These poems are based on Jack Clark, who had these dense prose sonnets and had maybe 4 or 5 epigraphs. And I started reading the Bhakti. She's like, don't do 4 epigraphs. That's too much. But this one has 2. And the first one is from Abby Lincoln, from Monkery's The Blues. Her putting lyrics to a monk tune. Life is a school, lest you're a fool. That's her quote. And Cecilia Vicuña, from To Hear Is to Strike Gold. Place is a sound and a form of hearing it. Quipu fur, after Cecilia Vicuña, for Ella Roque, my daughter, who has dyslexic processing style. Just to let you know. So the quipu and the way that Ella prehends reality. The quipu forest hangs from the gallery's ceiling, and the dyslexic 7-year-old's drawn to it. Hide-and-go-seeks in it, brushes against its soft fur, which was once storytelling device and tax collection record, before the collective brain was rewired by alphanumeric literacy and the masculine havoc which ensued. Here, tangible knots instead of paragraphs and punctuation. A granny knot needed a griot, really, or whatever Incans and other indigenous Andeans called story keepers. A weave of interrelations before we John Wayne the orcas and every other sentient thing that could not be easily commodified. So, the 7-year-old, seeing city and church starting with the same letter but with 2 different sounds, might be more adept at the quipu or anything of a quipu nature, weaving interrelations into creatures such as the rat, unicorn, octopus. She might be more suited for the necessary incoming weave the biosphere and all ally mammals are craving. Gold, red, black, brown, woven earth tone fur against wish to brush their own fur, as if life depended on it. Right? Life did depend on it. I'm going to read this poem from the Pandemic. This was published in Journal of the Plague Year. I wrote a lot of these during the pandemic, so only 1 epigraph, so I was really paying attention to Bucky after that one. Yeah, but it's a long one from Paul Celan. Being, no heaven is, no earth, and the memory of both extinguished, but for the one ash tree believing nuthatch. COVID-19 sonnet. Earth closed, which was the sky's wish. The birds, trees, unspoken mammal wish, as if heterotrophs had a vote and should then do when they conspire to halt human progress for a few weeks. Lighten the air, unclog the cities, add a dash of duende to the stew we call life without sports, without eating out, within no closer than 6 feet of the average human germ-spewing capability. Earth closed as a reset button, as in what's in it besides rat race for you, as in how might you act in prison but still cooking your own meals, as in get to really enjoy brown rice. Earth first, finally, we had it coming. We stable geniuses, knowing humans have all the answers, all the technology, all the gear, except for face masks, hand sanitizer, toilet paper, and ventilators. Wendification of life resynchronizes us with the nuthatch and redwing, the cootraft and seagulls, and there is no panic buying by the lake. There is no hoarding, except for squirrel. There's nothing but these last 3 days of winter and a slight sense of the new normal in late capitalism. On the shore of Lake Washington, the beautiful home that Bhakti and I share. And as I read that human germ spewing capability, I realize all the spewing I did. I'm just trying to get it out without a microphone. So I'm gonna skip here 20. I had 20. Oh, I gotta read this one. June 21st, 2018. FDR, the New Deal. Harry Truman, the Fair Deal. Trump, the Ordeal. Sorry, honey. You can hide for this one. July 2nd, 2018. Afternoon sex so good takes me 2 times properly button my shirt. July 7th. You ever had that experience? I hear the laughing. Yes, Michael Cook is nodding his head.
Oh, yeah.
July 7th, 2018. You're selling the Soto now. Did the Soto come on? Is that?
She left it here.
She left it here.
That's just for me.
You may want to get a refresh there. And the cowboy. She left the cowboy here. All right, this one's for Matt Trees, July 7, 2018. Matt reports he made postcards out of his aborted dissertation. Good use of it. A couple of days later, July 11, 2017. Ella today is a vampire unicorn who vomits rainbows. Joe is gone. He was here. Ella's grandpa. Joe said this was also July. This is July 17, 2018. Joe says Vietnam was like camping with someone trying to kill you. July 27, 2018. Before meditation, blackberries. After meditation, blackberries. July 30th, 2018. Apocalypse glossary words. Firenado. Pyrocumulus. And I think I'm going to read one more. Oh wait, there was a McClure poem that just went by. Oh yeah, I got to read this. So Michael McClure was one of my poetry heroes. He died in May. I think I'll read a McClure elegy here. Just went to Orinda, California at Cal Shakes for his memorial service, and what an honor it was to be there to honor this man whose work just inspired me so much. And if you ever want to have coffee and have me blab about McClure for an hour or so, I'm happy to do that. Because he changed my life. I had 6 minutes there at the memorial to talk about it, and I couldn't talk about it and didn't want to dwell on it because I was going to just start bawling, truth be known. But his poem, Dolphins Skull, changed my life. When I saw the words, I was up in Olympic National Park at Appleton Pass, and you know that mountain right there by Appleton Pass, from that looking down on the Boulder Creek campground, I saw the words, more alive than I ought to be. And I thought, fuck, I think I know what he's talking about. This is such an amazing experience. More alive than I ought to be. Oceans and freeways of grief and guilt. Triumphs of bare feet and drugs up the nose. Child of cocaine and raccoons in hollow logs. Fusus cryptesti filet. Nature loves to hide herself in Leonardo's secret language and the dimensions that disappeared after the bang. Old men dreaming of great-grandfathers are very wise, like sow bugs and wooden spools wound with scarlet thread, and an antlered buck that drinks from a bowl in the yard in moonshine.
Oh.
January 3rd, 2020. Deaths comprised of deep blue tortures, says McClure, mouth full of chocolate cake. By the way, read his Bill Cake Blues. This is for my spiritual practice, Latiham Quechuan. This is from January 5th, 2020. Octogenarian's Latiham sounds like practice to be a ghost. Right? And so I thought, well, this is the the years after the first edition, but I got to put one poem from 2021, January 1st, like we thought it was going to be over then. Right? I thought so. This shows you the hope that I had at the time, that this whole COVID thing and these people who refuse to get vaccinations. They showed something on CNN. It's like people saying, having a seatbelt, that cramps my freedom. I can't have a seatbelt. Anyway, 2021, January 1st, 2021. 2020 was taken out to the alley and shot in the head. That's beautiful. That's what I would have done, but I'm from Chicago, so that's a special method we learned in 3rd grade. All right. Oh, by the way, one of Sam's paintings, Sam Hamill's paintings. I've got postcards of his and paintings of his in the house. And so I'm going to skip right to the last one. Hey, thanks for celebrating my birthday here.
Come on.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I told Dave it only took me 15 minutes to find it walking around this fucking neighborhood.
I live here. It was way worse.
I know. So we'll see you in 10 years. Okay, so this is the last poem, and the drinking will continue. We've got lots of sake. Sonatas de Cascadia, 6th May 2020. McClure died on May 4th, 2020. So this I heard on the 5th, and the next morning at 6:48 a.m. I timestamp the poems, so I know when they came. And the epigraph is from Michael McClure's Dharma Devotion number 77. He wrote a series of poems called Touching the Edge, Dharma Devotions from the Hummingbird Sangha. After he meditated, he would write. And those are beautiful poems. I love that book so much, Touching the Edge. And his epigraph is, the moment of emotional passion is a flame swirling out of childhood. Elegy from Michael. So moves the last miracle of the mammal patriot out of God's hot prison cell, veins that with liquid humors fueled such fire, Quevedo, and to the far shore, easy to reach when you live life touching the edge, when members of the Hummingbird Sangha are there to lift the skirt of the veil for you, painless as the last surrender you'd have known for having had contact with the great life force. You, rebel lion, always in rebellion against one-dimensionality, shaped by the luminosity of bell rings, the calico cat's tail fur, and the moonlit bowl from which the buck in the yard drinks. You always knew how far it was to the other side. Laughing voices of children perfuming the air, your grandson's voice the last you'd hear after a sip of deathbed Johnny Walker Black, per long-held desire, writes Amy. Miracles blow by, sizeless as clouds and car crashes in Hollywood movies, you say, still hating Vietnam bomber planes passing over because you knew the power and life force of every sentient thing. The mouse who taught projective verse, the garbage man who plays jazz with his trunk.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One more!
60.
35.
Yeah.
I did.
We've been under 100.
October 20th, 2011. Seattle Day. Wondering if the solar-powered prayer wheel will turn.